Hey everybody, Papa Wiggs here with Wiggs. We're going to talk about the Green Bay Philadelphia game that's going to happen Friday night in Brazil. Um, this is going to be another great game. So we're going to talk about our predictions. So Wiggs, I'll jump in. This one is really tough for me. Was a tough one to pick. Um, but I'm going with the Eagles, and here's why I'm going with the Eagles. Um, I think that I'm really high on the Packers. Don't get me wrong. I think Jordan Love's going to have a good season. Dobbs is going to play in the game. They got Dobbs, Watson, Wicks. They got Jacobs in the backfield and stuff like that. So I think that they're a solid team. Their defense, is probably going to be a typical Packer defense in the middle of the pack. I just, the reason I'm going with the Eagles is I just got a feeling that the Eagles they're going to have a little bit more balanced attack, which on the offensive side, which is going to play to their favor. And here's the reason I say that. In previous years, Josh Jacobs always starts off really slow. So it wouldn't surprise me if Jacobs struggles a little bit in this game. And I can see that be a factor. The Packers are, they also just got back Lloyd, their one rookie, and AJ Dillon's out. Um, I think that there's more depth on Philadelphia. I think Barkley, and listen, Wiggs and I both talked about it. I'm not a huge fan of Barkley, but I do think Barkley's going to have a decent game here. I don't necessarily think he'll go for over 100 yards, but I think he's going to be a factor in the passing game, and I really think that Gainwell is going to have an impact in this game as well. And so I give the edge to the Eagles there. I also think that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, even though I really like the Packers receivers, I think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith both are going to have really good games against the Packers. I think the Packers defense is going to struggle to stop Hurts in getting the ball to them. I think Hurts is also gonna, you gotta watch him, from a running perspective. Just like, look at what Lamar just did, with his 112 yards or whatever and stuff. So I think that's gonna be a factor and stuff. I think the other thing here too is that it's in a neutral site, so I don't see, had this been at Green Bay, you know, uh, and it was a home game, I probably would have went with the Packers. But this is going to be at a neutral site. So I just think that the Eagles, um, are going to have a more well balanced plan on offense, and they're going to be able to um, control the time management, the clock, and and keep loving those guys off the field. And I think that that's ultimately going to be the factor in this game. My prediction is we're probably it's going to be close. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means. I see this being like, maybe a 24-20 type game, maybe, a little bit more. But I will say both of these teams had to fly to Brazil. Um, a long flights, neutral site. There's a lot of distractions going on down in Brazil right now. So I just don't, I don't, I just don't think that we're going to see a lot of fireworks in this game. I think there's going to be scoring, but I don't think it's going to be a typical game whereas if it was here on one of their home fields here in the states because of all the distractions and stuff. So I'm going to say 24-20 Philadelphia. That's my prediction on this one. Wiggs, what do you think?
I do agree with you. I think it's going to be a weird game, but I think I'm kind of on the other side of the spectrum. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think both defenses are going to struggle quite a bit, and I honestly could see like four different guys in this game going over 100 yards receiving too from both teams, personally at least. Um, I don't
I
know.
hope you're right, and I hope AJ Brown has 3 touchdowns.
Well, I think AJ and Devontae will both be over 100 yards. I also have a feeling that we're going to see Reed and Wicks go over 100 yards here in this game. I think it's just going to be one of those weirdly high scoring games, and there's going to be like little to like minimal defense being played. From a running back standpoint, I don't really know what to expect from either of these guys. Both the new offenses, and to me, this really isn't like a true week one type game. It feels off because, like you said, it's in Brazil,
Yeah.
and I don't know, something about it
I give
just
the edge to
feels weird.
Saquon on this one just because Jacobs over the last couple years he's had a pattern. You know what I mean? He's
Well, that was with a different team though
no,
too.
I know,
So
but he's always kind of started off slow and finished strong.
yeah, I
So
think he's gonna not like fully revert it, but I think he's gonna start off a little bit better than he has in prior years. Maybe we'll kind of see. I don't know how the defense. Like I have a feeling the defenses are really just gonna be trashed this game, and I could be completely wrong, but um, for that reason, that's kind of why I went towards the Packers because I think of the two, I think Love honestly might take more advantage of terrible defensive play. Um, and I think that might be a bold prediction from me, but still, I think um, we're just going to see a lot of scoring, and it's going to be an odd game because it's not going to be like the typical game like you said in the states where you actually have a true home team, a true away team, and it's kind of more closely fought. I think you know a lot of these players really don't want to be in Brazil right now, and I think that could impact how they play as well. So I don't know. No one really seems to be happy to be out there playing the game. I think they'd just rather be closer to home and playing like a normal like U.S. game.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I think it might be a little bit lower scoring. I hope you're right, Wiggs. I mean, I hope it's high scoring because if it is, hopefully AJ Brown is going to be the recipient of that, which I would, love. But since
I
he's
won't.
on one of my fantasy teams,
I wouldn't.
and but I will say this: I think that we're gonna find out a lot about Jordan Love in this game. Um, now that he signed his big contract. So I think we're going to find out a lot about Josh Jacobs and Saquon in this game. So from a fantasy perspective, I think that this is going to be a good gauge to see if you have Saquon or if you have Jacobs, what you know where these guys um, play out. I think this is also going to be a good test for Christian Watson coming back from an injury, seeing where he kind of falls in the pecking order, so to speak, with Jordan Love. With the fact that he Love's got, not only him, but he's got Dobbs and Wicks, and
Reed,
then
Melton,
and
like a
Reed.
lot of
Yeah, I forgot.
options.
I keep forgetting about Reed. I don't know why. But so I mean, between Reed, Dobbs, Wicks, and Watson, I think that we're gonna find out a lot about how they plan on using this offense. I think we're also gonna find out a lot about I think the one X factor in this, which um, makes me a little nervous, but I'm still going with the Eagles, is we're gonna find out how good the Eagles' offensive line is gonna be now that they don't have Jason Kelsey. So it'll be interesting to see how that part of it, plays out with this game as well, because I think, this is the first time in over 12 years, I think, or so, because Kelsey played for 13, 14 years, I think, that the Eagles aren't going to have Kelsey as their starting center. So it'll be interesting to see how their offense adjusts to that. Because when you lose a starting center like Kelsey, that's kind of a big blow.
Yeah.
So, the the good thing about that is that that, at least you've got a quarterback that can help, by getting out of the pocket,
Yep.
buying some time, like Hurts. So that's a big advantage. I mean, same on the Green Bay side with Jordan Love, right? Jordan Love, the same kind of thing. He can get out of the pocket and buy some time. So um, the other thing we're going to find out a lot about is both the defenses, because both defenses, and I agree with you, Wiggs, in the sense that both of these defenses are definitely going to be pushed and challenged in this game with the talent on the offenses for both these teams. So I do think it's going to come down to whichever team's defense plays the better game.
Yeah.
So if whichever team's defense plays the better game, I think, and I know that might be a cliche, but I do really think that's what it's going to come down to. So I do like there's a lot of talent on that Eagles defense. They did lose, a couple people in the off season. Um, you know, they do have a better, I think they have a better front than the Packers do, but the Packers arguably have a better back end of the defense than the Eagles do. I think that uh, the Eagles have a slight edge at linebacker, although they did lose one of their linebackers that's not going to be playing, which is gonna hurt and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. So it'll be another fun game to start off the season. Let me just go on record as saying, though, I really just don't like what the NFL's doing here with these first games. I know everybody wants to see more games, but they keep talking about player safety and stuff like that. And to me, throwing in these a Friday game and doing all this traveling overseas and stuff like that, these are things that play a factor in player safety, because the players are going to be more jet lagged and stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of this. Of what they did this year um, with this. So and I get it. It comes down to money. So, but anyways, now that I went on my little tyrant, Wiggs, you got anything else to add on?
Nothing on this game. I will say, be prepared for our stream on Sunday. We'll be covering the rest of the games, right? I believe we'll be back by then.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll be covering the rest of the games on stream that day. So the rest of this graphic will be filled out for you guys. We'll talk about as many of them as we can get in before games, begin.
Yeah. Plus, we're going to be doing our sleeper picks as well.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll end up recording that the night before and having that uploaded for you guys in the morning. So we'll have those videos uploaded prior to us streaming, so you guys can check those on out and then pop into the stream if you feel like it.
Yeah, no, great point, Wiggs. So anything else you want to add about the game? Or?
Nope.
All right, well, hey, everybody, check us out, Fantasy Fools PPR on YouTube, Snapchat, X, TikTok, Instagram. Like, subscribe, share, provide feedback. We definitely want to hear whatever you want to, any feedback you have, any questions, or if you got questions about lineups, stuff like that. Don't hesitate.
And we do respond to those too. We've had a few people comment.
So don't hesitate to reach out. We hope you guys are finding this content beneficial. And again, we're just trying to give you guys another option to check out, and hopefully you find it useful and beneficial. And with that, we'll talk to you next time.